This is how I wrote my book.
Everything is figured out. Marketing isn't about to discover and write in their own voice.
I went into the chapters, and I opened every chapter with a story. And what I mean by that, a story, is not just a story for the sake of it. And I want you to take these notes down, okay? I know these things are really basic, but I just tried to answer these two questions in every chapter and find a story that illustrated it. How did you learn that? And what did you have to do to accomplish that? Those are the only two questions I tried to answer in every single chapter. And then I'd give the tactics and all the curriculum stuff, and it made sense. It created context for the content. How did you learn about this personal branding thing? Well, then I told the story. I was like, you know what? I think I really learned about this through previous careers. And actually, when I was a kid growing up, and I was an avid sports fan where I loved baseball, basketball, there were some players I liked more than others, even though it wasn't about their talent. There was something about their personality, the way they played, who they seemed to be, that I really, really liked. I didn't always necessarily like the best baseball player when I was growing up, Michael Jordan, the best basketball player. He wasn't necessarily my favorite player. And my point is, we've been around personal branding all the time, and that story just naturally flowed out. You see what's happening? How did you learn this stuff? And then, what did you have to do to accomplish it? And the answer wasn't just, I had great sales scripts and I just wrote copy. The answer was, I had to become a better person. I had to work on areas of my life. I had to change my inner game. I had to change my mindset. I had to grow in self-awareness. I had to be comfortable expressing my point of view. Right, that's all in the book. I had to be comfortable putting myself out there and sharing my personal stories and building a platform. Even if nobody really engaged with me in the beginning, I had to learn how to persevere and build endurance and frankly, build patience. Even if I was working hard and results didn't come right away. When I started to make sales pitches, I had to work on this inner game and say, no is not a no. No is one step closer to a yes. This had very little to do with marketing or branding, and everything to do with my inner game, my mindset, my personal growth. And so what's happening here now is that, I have a book that is on the cover about branding and marketing, but really it's like a personal growth and development book cloaked in marketing and branding. And I'll close with this, right? When you put a big project out there into the world, a book, a course, a coaching program, whatever it is, it's not just about, especially with a book, it's not about what you've done in the past up till this point. That's where I was getting stuck. Going back over to the whiteboard and seeing, you had a curriculum, you had things that you'd done, and you're writing about the past. I said, but a book is not just about what you've done. It's a cue. It's a signal to the world, to your audience, to your readers, on what you're going to do. And so when I thought about it like that, I thought, yeah, I definitely want to put more and more personal growth, personal development content in the book. It's aligned with my growth as a startup, ramp up, build up, scale up, leader up, entrepreneur. But I want the book to signal the things I'm going to do in the future, because I do want to write stuff about personal growth, personal development. I do want to write things about how entrepreneurship helped me become the best version of myself that I could become. That's what I married together in the book. Okay, so there's a lot of thoughts here, and they're just raw, off the cuff. In fact, I'm taping this literally 2 days after I sent in my final draft to my publisher and editor. So this is not something that, all that stuff I just put on the board off the top of my head. But this is raw, this is real, and I'm documenting this because I want you to understand, I want you to get a glimpse and maybe extract some value from how I thought through this project. If you've ever thought about, writing a book, take some of these principles that I've shared with you today incorporate them into your work. I hope that this little session that we shared was inspiring. What do I want people to feel? I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel encouraged. I hope you don't feel alone. Oh my gosh, I felt like that for so much of the time that I was writing this book. Well, I'll tell you what, being on the other side of it now, I'm so glad it's done because it's a message I truly believe in. And that's what you want to feel about your own book. You want to become your own biggest fan when it comes to your work because you've poured in the sweat, the hours, the tears, the blood, right? This book didn't take me just a few months to write. It didn't take me a year to write. It didn't take me a few years. It took years of my life. It took my whole life. It was the aggregation of everything I've learned in my life, condensed into a book and also where I want to go. Okay? So I hope this was helpful to you. And thanks so much for letting me be a part of your journey and for picking up the book and being a small part of mine too. Thanks. I want to invite you to pick up a copy of my book, You Are the Brand. You can go on youarethebrandbook.com or find it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, anywhere. I hope that you will consider picking up a copy of this book. It's going to serve as a guide for you, a roadmap, a blueprint for you, if you will. And don't give up on building your personal brand. You can do this. There is a process, and I'm here to help you. Hope to talk to you soon.